Hey, uh, so it's like 6. So you're probably done working, right? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't interrupting. I know you work late. Freelancing is all that, and I get it. I kind of already said I just didn't want to be interrupting you because I was wondering if we could talk a little bit. Well, if it sounds serious, it might be. Depends. I'm not talking about the adult diaper. I know it was gross, but that's it's just a normal part of that. I don't want to get into this. It's too bitty for me, and I know I started it, but yeah, right. Me not making bits. That's like, see, I can't even think of a good simile as a joke. I'm completely flambéed. Yeah. Can we talk though? Cool. No, you sit on the bed. I'll just. Okay, fine. I'll sit on the bed and you sit in the chair. Fine. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't exactly know how to start this. I wish I did, but I don't. Because if I did, it'd make it a lot easier. I'm thinking about how to start this for like 2 weeks. And every time I sit down, I spend hours and hours thinking of what to say, and I can never come up with anything. And that's coming from me. I have words vomiting out my mouth, regardless of whether they're well thought out or not, all the time. And yet, when it comes to this, I can't come up with a single starter. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because you don't have to lead me. I'm here, and I'm sitting here, and I'm going to be talking to you, and I am talking to you. So I'll just figure it out as I go, I guess. Hey, I was really good at improv back in high school, or at least that's what the director told me. I've always kind of had the feeling that she said that just to get me in the plays because I'm good at acting, but improv wasn't necessarily my strong suit. Anyways, yes, Miss Cranderson. I didn't even know there was a last name you could have. I know there's Curtis Granderson on the Detroit Tigers, or he was on the Detroit Tigers. His name was on the Marlins, I think. Yeah. But he's on the Mets too. Cranderson? Never heard of Cranderson. Anyways. Well, and you know how many repercussions come from this next statement coming up here. And this is nothing but the same. I have been thinking. I know, everyone watch out. No, I have actually been, thinking about stuff. I'm getting there. So your horses. Don't rush to the end. I promise I'm getting there. Um well, actually, it hasn't been something that has only been the past couple of weeks. If it was, I would have had something to say and a whole outline drawn up by the end of the first day of me thinking about it. But no, not the case here. This is something that I've been thinking about for about 10 months now. You are right. That is a very distinct measurement of time for someone who can't remember when anyone's birthday besides you and my mom's is. That is correct. So it must be very important then. Yes, her birthday is in December. That's not what this is about. Well, thank you for reminding me. I'm kidding. It was a conversation that I had in the month of December. Do you have any idea what I could possibly be talking about? Okay, and I was kind of worried about that, honestly. That it's something that I remembered and never brought up, and yeah. Okay. This does make it a little more difficult for me to power on through the conversation, but nevertheless, she persisted. Yeah, I refer to myself as she. I don't know. Do you remember, of course you remember, Jason's New Year's Eve party? Good. Okay, you remember that we went to it. And the next question I have for you is, how much did you remember? As is very important to the story. Yeah. Exactly. I never really told you what happened. I told you that we celebrated, and then I kind of took you home because you were kind of too off your rocker to be around people. And that part is true. I just may have omitted the detail that happened right before that. You told me a very vital piece of information that I have been thinking about for the past 10 months. Yeah. You looked me in the eyes, completely trashed. But they say drunk thoughts are sober. Drunk sings or sober thoughts or something like that, right? That's a thing that people say. No, I got this. You told me that you have a crush on me. And then before I could stop you, the countdown started. Once again, very convenient timing, was not intentional, all I could tell from your face. Countdown for New Year started, and you gave me a little smooch on the lips before I could react and push you away to make sure that you didn't do that. So, that happened. You think I would just let you kiss me when you're drunk? No. That's like completely taking advantage of you, and I'm not interested in that whatsoever. I pushed you off, and then I took you home because I asked you if you wanted to stay, and you said, yeah! And then you started to stand on a table, and it looked like you were about to say something that you wouldn't want the public to know, so I took you home. Next morning, you didn't remember it at all. Tried to subtly hint to it, but not overtly, so you knew what had happened, but just wanted to see if you did or not. You didn't. And I didn't want to have that conversation with you that make you feel uncomfortable about that when you can't even remember what happened. So what I did was, over the next couple months, I tried to erase it from my memory. I tried to make it seem like it didn't happen and just forget about it. It was an odd situation because I had never thought of you that way. I've been pretty, dated a lot and casually dated, in quotation marks, a lot. Do you happen to know offhand how many dates I've been on in the past 10 months? That's because there hasn't been any. I've been on a total of 0 dates in the past 10 months. The first couple of months I spent, like I said, trying to scratch it out of my brain and forget about it. Except I couldn't do that at all whatsoever. Instead, Barbra Streisand affected it, and it became the most prominent thought in my mind. Like, so she likes you. What do you really feel about that? And so, after those first couple of months, we kind of approached the acceptance stage. We were in denial. We tried to deny that it ever happened. And then it's like, okay, so she does like you. But how do you feel about her? And so the next couple of months after that, I spent a lot of time paying attention to you. We always paid attention to each other. We've always been friends. But the little things, the way you quirk the left side of your lip when you're about to smile, and it's kind of like you can tell that it's going to happen. The way that the sun looks directly reflected in your eyes, and the way that your hair blows in the wind, and every single time even a strand gets out of place, you have to tuck it back in and make sure that it looks perfect. The way that you eat everything at a normal rate, but when it comes to pizza, you gobble it up. You cannot help yourself. You eat at a more rapid rate than even people in cartoons do. This is not a bad thing. These are just observations I've made. All these little things about you. I was like, wow. She's awesome. I think I have a crush on her too. But you still didn't reveal that to me intentionally. So me bringing that up to you just kind of felt wrong. It didn't feel like something I should be doing. So I took some more time. I was like, okay, I do have a crush. But all of those little things are great and awesome, and they can lead to you having a crush on someone, but there has to be bigger feelings there, right? You know, we want to see if that's the thing. Is this just like a little harmless crush that we have on each other, or is it a crush that is indicative of something greater than that? So for the next 3 months, we hung out a lot more. I asked you about your family life. I asked you about your hobbies. These are all things I knew about, but I kind of only knew because, you did them around the house and we had base level conversation, but I wanted to get deep. So I asked you a lot of questions about every aspect of your life that would be important for me to know about if we were to, be a thing. So peeling back that layer, I'm starting to realize, oh my gosh, this is my dream girl. Basically, every future plan that she has aligns with me. We are very, very closely aligned also in viewpoints and standpoints on social issues. We get on like a house on fire when it comes to discussing these deeper topics, which is not really something that people ever do. You can have a couple that's been married for 20 years and they still have a difficult time delving into things that are more emotional and have a lot of weight to them. But no, we did it easily, and half of the nights after we both came home from work, we just talked the night away, and it was amazing. I was like, okay, yeah, for sure. I really like her. Like, it's not just a crush. It's not just like a minor infatuation. This is something that I could see being a good. I almost jumped the gun there. This could be something I could see being a long-term relationship. I would like to do that with. This would be someone I would want to call my girlfriend. So if you've been adding up, that's 7 months. So what's been happening the last 3 months? The spool has been unraveling at an exponential rate. As to say, it is not just a long-term relationship thing that I want with you now. We've been spending so much time together, and we have been sharing every intimate part of our life aside from our literal intimate lives. And we've connected to such a level that I don't think there's a singular doubt in my mind that I am in love with you. Like straight up in love with you. And that's crazy to me because I never thought I would be in love with anyone. I've had girlfriends in the past that I had loved and I had cared for very deeply, but in love is just like a completely different level. And I am in love with someone who's not even my significant other. Sure, we live together and we are very good friends, but I mean, Kaylee is your best friend and Mike is my best friend, so it's not even that, but holy moly. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm in love with you. No, wrong. I am 100% certain that I'm in love with you. And it got to a point where yesterday I was like, I have been so good waiting for her to potentially bring it back up. But I think I've given her enough time to process perhaps those drunk thoughts. If she truly, either whether she did remember or she didn't remember, I had to get this out in the open because it was eating me alive inside. And I've spent the past 2 weeks getting genuinely distracted during our conversations that we have about serious things that I want to pay attention to, because all I can think about is kissing you and not stopping kissing you. So thank you for coming for my TED Talk. Your rebuttal, please. Every single thing. Not a thing I don't mean. Even that. You shouldn't be embarrassed. And if you are embarrassed, counter that with the fact that I just told you I've spent the last 10 months of my life going from slight infatuation to full out adoration of you. For you, you. So, how are we feeling? That's a good sign. Happy is, I like to hear happy. Potentially, do you feel like expanding on happy? Maybe a subsection of happy? Content? Satisfied? Excited? Elated is probably the best answer you could have possibly given there. I am elated that you are elated. Do you want to be my girlfriend? I'm shocked. I knew you had a crush on me, but I didn't. I guess I was so focused on what I was going through and all the emotions whirling through my brain, I didn't take into consideration that perhaps the same thing was happening to you. Not in my wildest dreams did I think you would say it back to me today. So I guess I got to start dreaming bigger, huh? It was good, but your breath did taste like it did like Jägermeister. It wasn't great. I would gladly like to replace that memory in my mind. If I have your consent, of course. If there was any doubt, there isn't now. I don't think there was any doubt, but a lot of people talk about, the physical chemistry has to be there too, and there's no doubt in my mind that was a kiss that couldn't be paralleled by any other person I attempted kissing for the rest of my life. You're the worst, actually. You're going to tease me about that? You're going to tease me about that? We were doing so good. I spent 10 months not teasing you about our drunk confession. And you're over here, I spill my guts out and heart out to you, and you don't want to? That's so... No, you can't kiss me to silence me. That's not how that works. That's as significant others to each other, we have to properly hear each other out when we... Yeah, no, okay, for sure. Making out's a much better idea. Come here.